Um, Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my live. I'm just going to just quickly give you the information that God sent yesterday, but came through today. Um, so here it is. So it's not just for you; it's for me as well. So I trust that this helps. Now, I know that the nation is um, certain parts are going through the state of emergency, and so I know that I've seen on the news that there are some people who are upset. They believe that maybe it's so, maybe it is not. I don't know, but they're saying that their child or relative is taken and should not have pain, and so that's not my call. I'm just here to deliver the word, right? No, just before the state of emergency came, God sealed me up in something, right? So I wasn't surprised that the state of emergency happened. So since then, I have transitioned to working at home. Now I know that everybody, or some people, love working at home. I don't. It's not my first preference. My first preference is working in office, okay? Because I do love people. Um, but this is what God did, okay, when He sealed me up. So this is where I am, okay? And it was hard the first day, of course, I was trembling and all kind of things. But thank God that I'm still here and I'm still trying and I'm still doing it. Okay, so what does that have to do with anything? So shortly after that, the state of emergency happened, and we know what happens during that is that people are captured and they are locked up. So you see the physical manifestation of the spiritual thing. Okay? So this is what God was telling me just now, about half an hour ago. Right? So He's saying that it is a process. Now, this word is for, it's not for everybody. This word is for especially the people who are sealed up, which means the people who they are looking for. It means the people who are already captured and covered up. And it also means for people who are like me, you are not captured, but God has sealed you up. Okay? And God has not just sealed me up, but He's also, at night, He's also looking down over me like a guardian. I don't get it, but I appreciate it. Okay? So this word is for me and those people. Okay? So He is talking about a new beginning or a transition. So currently where we are stuck in transit. We are stuck in transit. So you might not see it that way. I'm telling it to you as it is, how it was given to me. We are stuck in transit. Why do I say that? Because here where we are ready to relocate. But now this information is coming through and it's very breaking. Okay, it's very breaking, and I will tell you why when I tell you the other points. We are stuck in transit. So you people that are locked up, you people that are sealed up, you people that are on the run because you don't want to be caught so that you can get locked up, we are in transit. We are not where we were. We are not where we want to be. We are currently in transit. Right? We are in transit. We are in an in-between. You can't go home because they will capture you. So you can't live your life like normal. You're probably somewhere hiding out, and that's where you're doing your SOE. You might think that you've escaped, but as long as you have not transitioned, or you're still, your life has been interrupted. There's an interruption that took place, a disruption that occurred. and you cannot move forward the way you want to, you are in transit. So what the Lord is saying, and especially for the people who believe that, or who know that their loved one or person should not have been captured or locked up, he's saying that this is the process. I want you to understand, we don't choose the process. When God is the one doing something, we do not choose the process. We might not like the process, and we may not always understand the process when it is occurring. But oftentimes, after when it is all finished, and we look back at things in retrospect, that is when we understand why certain things had to happen. And that is when we get more clarity about why certain things happen. So that is the process. Now, he showed me this. Okay, and I'm going to draw it so that you understand, because it was a visual. Okay, so you have a small circle. I hope you're seeing this. Okay, you have a small circle, and then there is a line, and then there is a giant circle. Okay, so you have a small circle, and then there is a line, and then there is a giant circle. The small circle is where we are right now. That is where we are when we are closed up, when we are sealed up. When we are closed up, when we are sealed up, that is where we are right now. Even here, I am in a bubble spiritually. Every so often when I look in the spirit, I see the bubble around me. That is the allotment of space that I have right now. When I am out there, okay, when I am out there, it's a different thing. When I am in here, I am sealed up in a bubble, and that is the allotment of space that I have. Within this space, yes, I am free. Yes, I have liberty, but it's limited. It's not limited because of a bad thing. It's limited because of a good thing. It is limited because of a good thing, because it is an opportunity. The Bible tells us that all things have passed away. Behold, God is doing a new thing. The transition is not because something bad is going to happen to you. It is because something good is about to happen. So this is where we are in the small circle. And the line he is saying that we will be thrust out into something bigger and into something greater. We will be thrust out into something bigger and into something greater. Now, why is this word important? It is important so that you get a grip on your perspective. You don't want to be there thinking the negative things about the situation that you are currently in. If you are already there, maybe you are striving or seeking to get your loved one out and it is not happening, then you need to start to shape your perspective. This is not something for the worst, this is something for the best. You cannot see it right now. Oftentimes in the process, you cannot see the good. That is the reason why it is called having faith. Because you don't see the end. You have to trust and have hope that the end is better. That is why it is called faith. And I need you guys now to put your faith and your confidence in God. So you have to shape and align your perspective. Okay? He also said, okay, now why you want to align your perspective? Because you want to, whenever you're shut up, remember during COVID-19 how a lot of people came to God and come back to God and suddenly thought about God and remember God? Well, when you shape your perspective, you bring yourself to a better place of thinking. To a better place of thinking and looking at the situation. Now, the reason why that is also important is because God said, start preparing. Start preparing. Now you are probably wondering what start preparing has to do with anything, because we are in here and we are sealed and we are locked up. We are moving towards a new beginning. Now, even though I am in a bubble, okay, a spiritual bubble, and he gives me just, a bit of space to move around and things. I am not in bondage, because we already choose that we will trust God. So I am not in bondage per se. So this is me walking after the direction that God has for me. So even though I am here, what I am doing is I am being very cautious and intentional about my next step. What does that mean for you guys? That means you make power moves. That's what that means. You make power moves. That means you be very deliberate and very intentional about what your next step is going to be in shaping your life, because you're going to have a different beginning after this. This word is not for everybody. This word is particularly for the people who are closed up, who are shut up, who may be in SOE, who may be running from the SOE, whose life has been disrupted. It's not for everyone. Okay? He's saying start preparing. When we talk about start preparing, we look at the 5 spaces of a man. The first space that I don't want you guys to worry about is spiritual space. Why? Because I will get that for all of us. When I get it, Uno got it. When I get it, you guys get it. Okay? So I will get the spiritual space for all of us. What you guys, like your parents, the relatives, the family members, what you guys can do to help the people then that are that are locked up, the wives, the husband, whoever, what you can do to help your son, your daughter, whoever, you can help to prepare them with the spaces that they will need. They will need physical space, meaning a place to stay, clothes on their backs. And I know you guys already have this, I'm just making sure I'm clear. Clothes on your backs, the needs, the physical needs that people need, clothing, food, and shelter, stuff like that. The physical space. They will need some financial space. So you start putting some money aside, because you don't know what they will do when they will come out there. And I'm trusting that they will shape their perspective while they are there and align themselves so that they know or have an idea of the direction that they want to move in after they come out. Things should come into perspective for you. Okay? So put aside some finance. Start building the finance right now so that they have some financial space when they come out. The space of the mind, when I talk about shaping your perspective, you're already working on that. The space of the mind is not a part of this physical space. Why? Because when we talk about physical space, we talk about things that we can touch. Body, land, assets, things that we can touch. Okay? So physical space is things that you can touch. Clothing, food, shelter, the lead car. If they have a lead car, they may like ride on here. You keep their car clean if you know that's their baby. Their bicycle, keep their bicycle scrubbed. Then keep their things for them. You don't want them to come out and they come back to nothing. No, they come back to space. And then they have the space of the mind, which is not the physical space, but it is your intellectual thinking. It is the way you think. It is your intellect. It is your intelligence. It is something that you cannot touch. It is the ability to think things through to the end. It is the ability to have clarity about your vision and your direction and the way and that you want to go. That is the space of the mind. Okay, so you work on that even from now while you're closed up to think things through. Okay, there is the space of time. So when you guys come out, you should automatically have time. Okay, and the spiritual space, I told you that I will get that for you. Okay, once I get it, you get it. Once you get this, once we get the spiritual space, it starts to pour into all the other spaces. Okay, but to get to spiritual space, I will have to go outside to do that. You cannot do that from in here. You cannot get space from the realm of possibilities for a nation or for a large amount of people by being in the house. The realm of possibility is too big. It cannot be contained in a house or in a church. You have to be out there. It's too big. Okay, so if you want to accumulate and acquire much of it, you have to be outside. The next thing that God said, he said, eyes on the SOE. This is the part that broke me. Eyes on the SOE. Okay, now first of all, let me tell you something. Chester Williams, not the commissioner of the police, that's the title, that's a title. Chester Williams, the person, his character, the spiritual aspect of him, is the priest over that area. So in God's kingdom there is order, okay? There is order. So that means that if he's doing something, I cannot override him, even though I have the spiritual authority that I have. He has been designated for that and called by God for that. The only way I can talk against something that he did is if the command comes from up top or if it comes from Zion. And then I wouldn't even have to say much. It will automatically get done. Okay? So it says eyes on the SOE. So if our commissioner says the SOE gets extended for another month, there is nothing I can do unless a command comes from up top. That means even me have to tarry, even me have to delay, even me still stuck in the transition, in the in-between. There's nothing I can do unless the command comes from up top. Eyes on the SOE. The SOE is for 30 days. Okay? The SOE is for 30 days. Okay? So the people and the family members, you have 30 days to try and put things together and prepare. Get things in perfect. Stop sitting around wallowing. We don't have time for that right now. We don't have time for that. Start preparing. Your child needs you. Your husband needs you. Your cousin, brother, sister, they need you. Start preparing for when they come out after that 30 days. If it is extended to another 30 days, then you guys, we have an extension of time to prepare and to get ready and to continue accumulate space for when they are released and for when we can come out and transition from the small that we are in and trust into something bigger and something greater. Okay? It says the SOE is the guide, meaning it's the timeline that we are looking at. Okay, it's the timeline that we are looking at. So like I said, we have 30 days to prepare. 30 days to prepare, to accumulate, to build up our space. That is what you do. That is what I will be doing. Okay, we have 30 days. If the SOE is extended to another 30 days, then we have another 30 days. But for now, we have 30 days. Eyes on the SOE. Alright? Eyes on the SOE. Alright? I want to leave with you this scripture for today because I believe that it is so relevant to the situation and it is something that keeps me up in times like this when, you know, we are going through these transition and disruptions. It says in 2 Corinthians 4-7, listen to this. It says, but we have this treasure in earthen vessel, that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed, meaning that we are confident that we have victory. We are perplexed, but not despair, meaning that we have never really lost. We always win. We either win or we learn. Either way, we win. We are persecuted, but not forsaken. It means that even though they might capture us, they could never fully catch us, because we are not just the physical body. We are spirit. We were created first in spirit before we were created in the physical. It says we always bear in our body the dying of the Lord Jesus, that the life of Jesus also might be made manifest in our body. So even though they might cast us down, it is not to our end. It is to our glory, okay, and to the glory of God. So even though they think that they are pressing us down and they think that they will not defeat us. We will spring up back. We will bounce up back. This is not the end. You guys are not defeated. We are not defeated. This is only a transition into something better. We may not understand the process, but we can trust that God can get us from where we are right now in this in-between to where we need to be. Okay, eyes on the SOE. That is our guide. That is the timeline that we are working with. Start preparing. Start preparing for when your loved ones are released and for when we get out of here. Start preparing for better. Alright, thanks for listening, guys. Have a good day.